Welcome back to That 70s Reno. Yeah, you guys, we got some less than good framing we got to take care of here. I have a feeling I could rip this right out of the wall, and you know what? I'm not going to spend too much time looking at what's wrong with it. You probably saw the worst of it in the thumbnail, but the main reason is it's not where it's supposed to be for us to hang cabinets. So why don't we take a quick look at some of the stuff, and then I'll show you what it needs to be, and we'll get to making it, get to building it. Okay, so I mean, we got the most glaring things, which is framing just not even making contact. This one is a solid 1/2 inch. So I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't care where you're from. That's a little bit short. I mean, that one's a little bit short. That one's hugely short. Anyways, you guys, so what do we got here? It's flush with the chimney more or less. There is a nail at least somewhere down there. Not sure how much it's actually doing. This one in the corner here, not fastened to everything. It's hiding a pretty big silverfish. You guys see that? This one in the middle here is, let's see, over 4 feet. We are looking at an inch at a plumb, so you know, probably 1.25 inches over the whole thing. No, it's more than that, 1.5 inches. Anyways, that's not the end of the world either, but if it was straight up and down, like if it was on edge, it would make it pretty hard to hang your cabinet. If you're hanging it at the top and the bottom, they would be in totally different spots. This one, let's take a look at this one, see if we can just even yoink it right out. No, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. How about this? How about this? Okay, I can't actually just straight up pull it off the wall. That's better than I was expecting. It's coming. It's coming. This top one is just nailed into drywall, so your framing shouldn't be able to do that. Okay, you guys, that's enough shaming of, you know, whoever may or may not have done that for me. I don't need to shame anybody. So what we need to do here though is, first off, this 2x4 here is more or less flush with this brick. And what we need is we need the drywall flush with this brick. Oh, I just want to get this out of here. Whoa, watch out for the light. There we go. That nail was doing a little bit. Hey, this one's actually nailed in pretty well. Better de-nail these before something dumb happens. Especially, you know, seeing as how I'm always working in my steel-toed Stan Smiths. You guys know what I'm talking about. One of the problems we have is that these two walls are super out of square. So you can see there's a line right there, and you can see it just sort of slipping away to nothing. Like, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick this back wall to be roughly square off, and I'm just gonna eyeball square. So the other thing that I'm doing is I said that I was going to build it plumb, but I've decided against that because it's actually not too hard to hang cabinets on a wall that aren't plumb. You just hang them plumb with some shims. But what is really hard to do is if we decide to not put the cabinets all the way up to here, then what we're going to be left with is it's going to stick out a 1/2 inch at the bottom too much. And so you're never going to be able to make that look right. So I'm going to build it in line with this wall. So I've got a reference point right here where the brick sticks out the most. So it's a 1/2 inch back from the face of that brick. And then up at the top, I picked the other brick that sticks out the most. Again, we got a 1/2 inch, so we're gonna line it up with that. The other things that I have to figure out on this wall is, you know, this is gonna be way too far back, so we're gonna have to bring this out, and this one down here is also gonna have to get brought out. Good for my house. A little bit loose. That's what I get for criticizing someone else's framing. Oh. I'm blaming that on the new drill. Now you see why I put that block there. Fill it with something. 5/8. Finger joint climb is 5/8. Supposed to be a stud there. Is there anything? Yep. Well, this one's all fixed up, and why don't we take a closer look at it, and I can tell you guys what I did, what I'm happy with, what I'm maybe not happy with. Okay, so the biggest hilariousness to me is that I still wound up with a little gap there after showing you guys that other framing and basing the thumbnail off of it. But you know, that's nice and snug, that's nice and snug, and as you can see, the 1/2-inch drywall, for the most part, like little bits of it are going to stick out here and there, but the rough edge will be covered by a corner trim. And as you can see, halfway up I decided to shim and screw each one of these, so that's what really adds the structure to the wall, because up top here I couldn't get any of those middle screws, these ones, I couldn't get them to bite anything. So those 3 things that I did there, that one against the wall, that little shim there, and that little shim there, are shoring up the whole wall. So yeah, I'm totally happy with that. And the only thing I need to do is throw some insulation in this wall, even though it totally doesn't need it. The other side of this is a closet in the washroom, so I could get away with not doing that at all. I'm gonna do it just for continuity because there was some there. And you guys, we still have this wall, which I'm not gonna film, but I know you guys wanna know what I'm gonna do on this ridiculous wall. So no matter what way you slice it, this wall is a headache. So we've got this wood right here framed in line with this existing wall. So the idea is that we're gonna board over this and then board onto the existing wall, and it's just gonna be one flush wall. But we've got this torn apart wall inside here, missing insulation with wires going all over the place. These boxes are screwed to the wrong face now. Like, we need them against this face. You know, there's no way we can bury these. And if I decided to just insulate in here and then vapor barrier this, I would probably bury these by accident and then remember someday when the cabinets are up and never know where to find them again. And the other thing is, I don't want to insulate the outside of this, or I mean vapor barrier the outside of this, because then we're going to have all this drywall right here just hanging out in between, you know, the vapor barrier and the wall cavity. And it doesn't seem right to me to have drywall on the wrong side of your vapor barrier. So I'm not going to be doing that. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull these all out, the studs I should say. I'm going to pull these studs out, and I'm going to pull all the drywall back a little bit like I did on that difficult to insulate video that I did, the one with the electrical panel over there and all the wires. So I'm going to basically do the same kind of thing where I'm going to open up the drywall enough that I can reseal the vapor barrier, and I'm going to insulate all the cavities. And then it's going to be, so basically this wall back here will be intact, and then we're going to reframe this wall on the outside again, and just make sure that I cut out the openings in the drywall for these things. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to tackle it. I'll be pretty happy with it. And you know, just like just about everything else in this job, I think it'll be good enough, you know, because there's a lot of weird, tricky spots that are just super hard to figure out in this job. Anyways, that's that. So that was the, you know, not so good framing with some, I hope, much better framing. At least I know it is. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you got something out of this video. And I just want to say thanks for watching. Well, thanks for watching Vancouver Carpenter, but this episode of That 70s Reno. Anyways, thanks for watching. Till the next one.